some myths about vaccine shots. I mean, it's almost criminal. Right now, 47 states of the United States have a, quote, epidemic. You know, people are, running and begging. People are on TV. We're out of, flu shots, and people are screaming and going hysterical. California is one of the fortunate states. That's where we're producing this right now. Has a little lesser, but every year we have, okay, a new bug's coming in, and God, it's going to kill millions of people, and if you don't do it, there are going to be thousands of people dead in the street, and you're going to have to walk over them, and it's kind of frightening. So we're going to go over a series of myths about flu shots. Myth number 1, flu shots. You hear this every year. Boy, if you don't get your flu shot, 36,000 people die a year. So, some people have asked, where's that number come from? I mean, that seems like a lot in terms of just the flu. Now, keep in mind that in science, there's different kind of bugs, and there's different type of solutions, especially with drugs. Now, with natural things, as we'll talk about a little bit later, they're broad spectrum. Like the garlic we talk about from Europe, it kills bacteria, even the MRSA, which antibiotics don't work. It kills viruses, fungus, yeast. It's a broad spectrum. But drugs don't work that way. When you go for a flu shot, it's for a very specific type of viruses called the flu viruses. And there's about 200 of them. And that's the first gamble. They look around the world, there's 200 to 400 of them, and they have to kind of guess which ones will kind of go through the world and cause a problem. So they have like a 2 out of 400 chance of being correct. So that's the first problem. We won't even go there. So when you get this 36,000, they kind of cheat. They put them all, once again, all the viruses' deaths, they put them all together. Now that's not fair, because the flu shot, if it did work, and we'll go through the 11 myths about it doesn't work, even if it did work, it would have to be very specific to flu virus. And so that's what the first, deception is. So in 2002, medical doctors did a review. Okay, where's this 36,000 come up? Well, first it comes from the drug companies, because they want to scare people. Hey, we make billions of dollars with this worthless crap, and so we're going to make everybody run out, because I don't want to be one of the 36,000. That's a big number. So in 2002, the total number of flu and these other type of viruses was 65,984. And this was published in the government publication called Centers for Disease Control, Mortality and Morbidity Weekly Facts. And so it's a publication that comes out weekly, and that's, once again, well established. Out of those 65,000, I know these are numbers, don't get confused here, 984, big number, only 753. So 65,000 plus 753 were from the flu, or 1.1%. So out of 100 people that once again had the flu, they lumped them all together. Only 1% of those, once again, have problems. So out of those 62,124 people, only 267 were actually from the flu. Because remember, the first number, once again, we talked about was flu and pneumonia. And once again, of those deaths, only 267 was from flu, or 0.4%. That's myth number 1. It doesn't, once again, that number is, once again, bogus. It's a lie. It's a cheat. If you're in school, you'd fail that question in your test. You'd have to go over and start over in kindergarten. And so, once again, it's just a lie.